Good day, class. So, lesson natin for today, anti-differentiation or integral. Okay, so, um, from the word itself, anti-differentiation. So, yung integral ay yung exact opposite or inverse lang ng differentiation. So, kung ano yung ginagawa natin sa differentiation, ay ang kabaligtaran nun, yun yung pag-integrate. Okay? So, it's as if we have a function f of x and we get the derivative of that function, we get the first derivative or f prime of x. Okay? So, ang meaning ng kabaliktaran lang yung yung integral ng differentiation is that if for this example, yung f prime of x, if kunin natin yung integral ng f prime of x, what we will get is exactly the original function f of x. Okay? Okay, so ganun lang po, okay? So kung ang pagkuha ng derivatives is to get or is like getting the tangent or I mean the slope of the tangent function of the function that we're trying to get a derivative of, kapag integration po yung ginagawa natin, what we're trying to get is the area under a curve. Okay, so let's take this example. If I have this x and y coordinate, and for example I have a function y equals f of x. Okay, so ang gusto natin kunin is, for example, what is the area under that function na let's say nandito, no? What is that area? Okay, so hindi mo magagamitan to nung mga normal na mga area of shapes na mga alam natin. Hindi natin pwede gamitan ng formula ng area ng square or ng rectangle or triangle because ano nga bang shape to, no? Yung nasa taas, it's not a perfect it's not a line, it's a curve, no? So paano natin kinukuha yon? So ang pwede nating gawin is hatiin natin, ano? For example, ito, hatiin natin yung x into equal intervals, ano? Let's say natin siya into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, no? And each length nito ay, since natin yung x, ang sukat niyan ay differential of x. A small part, no? dx, small part of the whole x. Kung ito yung ating whole x from this part hanggang dito, hinati natin siya into smaller parts or into dx parts. Okay? And gamit yan, pwede natin din kunin itong height na to. What is this height? No. If this is, kunwari, pangalanan ko to si x0, ito si x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5, wherein yung differences ng x5 minus x4, that is your dx, no? Ito, dx yan. So, kung may mga values ako ng mga x's na yan, yung mga nasa taas niya, yung kung saan sila nag-i-intercept doon sa ating f of x, then we'll have our values ng y. Okay? So, ito, if this is my x0, then that will be my f of x0. Tama? Ito. So, itong height na to, that is equal to f of x0. Yan yung y. Okay? Ito naman, that is my f of x1, this is my f of x2, and so on, no? This is my f of x of 5. Okay? So, yun yung mga values ng y. Okay? So, ngayon, paano natin kukunin yung area nitong area ng under this graph? Okay? So, what we can do is, pwede natin i-apply yung area of rectangles. Paano? Kung makikita ko, kung makikita nyo dito, no, meron na tayong rectangle na nabuo. That is, I have this. That's one rectangle. Okay? And yung kanyang width, that is, ito ay dx. At yung kanyang height ay f of x naught. Tama? And if gawin ko ulit siya, dito naman sa pangalawang segment, I have this width, again, which is dx. And ito, ito yung aking rectangle. Okay? Dx again, but now, yung height ko is f of x of 1. Then, next, ubusin akong kulay, no? Ito. Next is ito, yung width niya ay dx again, but yung height niya ngayon is f of x of 2 naman. Okay? Ayan, no? So, pwede ko siyang ulit-ulitin, Ayan. Gawin ko lang siya for all. Ayan, So, nagkakaroon na kayo ng idea kung paano natin kukunin to. It's as if, itong unang rectangle lang, itry natin kunin yung area and, well, simple multiplication lamang yan, gamit ang ating areas of a rectangle. It's literally length times width. Yung length niya or yung width niya muna, yung length niya muna or yung height niya is f of x, no? F of x of 0 times dx, no? That's the area of the first rectangle. Then, add natin yung pangalawa times dx ulit plus pangatlo times dx ulit and so on. Okay? So, ganun po natin kinukuha yung area under a curve. Okay? But the problem is, kung mapapansin nyo, i-zoom in natin, meron kang mga, teka. Ayan. Kung titingnan natin, kung ginagawa natin is rectangle, okay sa baba kasi nakalapat siya eh. Straight lang yun sa baba eh. Pero dun sa taas, meron kang mga areas, no? Let me, ayan, kulayan natin ng puti. Ayan. Yan, may mga areas ka na hindi na isasama. So, may level of inaccuracy, no? May mga parts na hindi ka nasama. Dito naman, kung makikita nyo, ibalik natin dito sa orange, may mapapansin ka, may mga times din na sobra ka. No? Ayan, may sobra ka dyan. May mga times na kulang, may times na sobra. No? So, hindi siya super accurate kung ganito yung gagawin natin. Okay? So, ang pwede natin gawin is, kung may imagine nyo, gawin natin is, paliitin natin yung mga dx natin. Paliitin natin siya ng paliitin. Okay? So, ano mangyari kapag mas pinaliit natin yan? No? So, let me draw you another example na mas kita naman na yun. Ayan. Ulitin ko lang, no? So, it's as if ganito, no? Kapag yung aking mga dx ay malalaki, for example, this is my first dx. Tapos yung pangalawa ko ay nandito. Pangatlo na hati ay nandito. Yan. For example, yan yung gusto kong kunan. No, so, yung malalaki yung aking dx, ano mangyayari dyan? Siya ay inaccurate kasi up until that point, ito yung aking mga rectangles. Okay? Kung nasaan yung nasa left side, yun yung magdedetermine ng kanyang height, no? Tapos dito naman, ito na yung kanyang height. Dito, ganyan. Okay? So, actually, kung ganito ang gagawin natin, no, malaki yung dx natin, yung area na makuha ko is actually ito. Plus ito. Plus ito. Diba? So, what we can do is, yung dx, make it as small as possible. So, ano mangyari kapag mas maliit yung dx ko? Tingnan nyo, ha? Ayan. Kung ang dx ko naman ay, let's say, ganito. Hinati ko to into 2. So, ito na, no? Ito yung magiging area na makukuha ko. May konti pa ring diferensya. May konting difference pa rin. Pero kung makikita nyo, medyo mas accurate siya. Ano? Although hindi pa rin perfectly nakukuha lahat, pero medyo mas accurate siya. So, let's try na isa pa. Palitin pa natin lalo yung ating dx. Let's say, ano ba? Ba't wala na ba ibang kulay ito? Pink. Hatiin ulit natin, no? Sa gitna. Oops. Pangit. Sorry. Basta yan na yan, no? So, kung ganyan yung hati natin, may lagpas pa rin, ano? Pero, kung mapapansin nyo, mas accurate na siya. No? Ito na yung kinukuha natin na area ngayon. And everything nasa baba, no? So, imagine, palitin nyo ng paliitin yung dx nyo such that hindi nyo na makita yung dx. Let's say, ganyan na. Ganyan, yung mga hati nyo ng dx. Sobrang dami na. Okay, na-imagine po. Sobrang liit ng dx. So, yung kalalabasan yan is sobrang refined na halos perfect nyo na makukuha yung area under the curve, no? So, kung ang nangyayari talaga, guys, kapag nag-i-integrate na tayo is hinahati natin yung gusto nating kunin, no, para mas accurate, then pinagsasama-sama natin siya. Okay? So, in mathematical form, paano natin siya isusulat? No? For example, I have my f of x times dx. Ito ay isang strip or ito ay isang rectangle. No? So, ang ginawa natin kanina is sinam natin, no? Inad-add natin lahat ng mga maliliit na rectangles na nagawa natin. So, we have to introduce the summation, no? Summation of f of x dx, no? And ang pagsum natin, ilan yung sinam natin? Dito sa kanina example, ang kailangan natin ng isam ay 5 rectangles. Tama? Kasi hinati natin yung buong area into 5 segments. Kaya 5 rectangles yung nagawa. Yun yung ipapagsama-sama natin. Pero, tandaan nyo, pwede natin siyang liitan yung mga rectangles. So, kapag nililiitan natin yung rectangles natin, dumadami rin yung rectangles natin. No? So, we name that, no, for example, dito, sinimulan natin 0. Mali yan. Gawin na lang natin 1. Ano? Mag-start tayo sa 1 para hindi nakakalito. So, pwedeng ilagay natin, no, summation ng f of x of I, no? So, yung summation ko is from I starting from 1 until I up until n. No? Ano yung n? N is the total number of rectangles or kung ilang beses mo itong x na to, hinati mo into ilang segments. Into n segments. Okay, so yung dx ko, that will be my x over n. Tama? Yung haba ng dx, yung length ng, yung width na to, ayan, yung width na yan ay nakadepende sa kung ano yung x na to, ano yung haba ng buong x na to, and kung ilang segments yung ginawa mo. Inati mo siya into ilang segments, ilang pieces. Okay? So, yun yung dx mo, no? So, basically, the more segments that you have, the smaller dx that you'll get. Tama? And therefore, mas accurate yung ating makukuha na area. Kasi nga, ito, pinakita natin, the more n that you have, or the less dx, or the smaller dx that you have, the more accurate estimate that you will have. Okay, so, if this is now my working equation, f of x dx, how can we say, or paano natin papaliitin ng papaliitin yung ating dx? No? Kasi ito, or wala indefinite to hindi natin alam kung ilang n. What we want to know in order to get the most accurate answer is that dapat yung dx mo sobrang small. Sobrang small. Tama? So kapag sobrang small ng dx ko, dapat sobrang dami ko ng n. Tama? So para makuha ko yung pinaka-accurate, I should have as much n as possible. And what better way na ma-express yung sobrang daming n kundi by using the concept of infinity. Okay? So, paparamihin natin yung segments natin such that it reaches infinity. Okay? And how do we do that? We use limits. We get the limit of this expression as n approaches infinity. No? So, papadamihin natin ng papadamihin yung segments, and then, kapag almost infinity na yung segments, we know that the dx is very small. No? And f of x times dx, that's getting the area of a small rectangle, no? Isang rectangle lang na maliit na part ng buong area na kinukuha natin. Okay, so this is one rectangle, but we are going to sum it all up from the first rectangle to the nth rectangle. You know? So, if I have this first triangle, my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth, yung sa dulo, yun yung nth rectangle ko. No? So, parang ang ginagawa natin dito is we're trying to multiply the width, the length times the width, no? So, this is the area of one rectangle, A1, no? And we're trying to sum it all up. A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus up until makarating ako sa dulong rectangle. No? So, I'm summing it all up. All the small rectangles. And I'm getting the limit of that sum as my n approaches infinity. Ibig sabihin, ito ay sobrang dami ko na ng terms. A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up until infinity. Meron akong infinity number of small rectangles. No? And this is the operation of integration. Meaning, itong buong term na to, ang definition lang to para mas mapadali, no? Ito, yan, no? You're getting the limit as n approaches infinity of the summation from 1 to n ng f of x dx. I can write that down as, instead na, kung mapapansin nyo, ano to, di ba? Sigma, or this is the summation, s, pwede ko namang ilagay, no? Summation na lang, no? Summation, no? S yung gagamitan natin. Pero instead na yung S na yan, artehan ko, no? Gawin kong ganyan. And that is the integral sign. No? Integral of f of x dx. And yan na po yun, guys. Okay? That is the definition of the integral. Kumbaga, yung sa ating differentiation, ang definition natin ng differentiation is what? We're trying to get the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h approaches 0. Ito yung definition natin ng derivative. Ito naman po yung definition natin ng integral. Okay, let me just rewrite. Limit as n approaches infinity ng summation from 1 to n ng f of x of I times dx. Okay? Hindi nasama si n. Okay? So, this is differentiation. This is the first principle of differentiation or differential calculus, and ito naman yung concept of anti-differentiation or integral. Okay? Okay. So, kapag tayo ay kumukuha ng integral, meron tayong dalawang types, no? The first is, kapag ganito yung itsura, we're trying to get the f of x dx. So, kapag ganyan, no? This is called an indefinite integral. Bakit indefinite integral? Kasi wala siyang bounds. Indefinite yung kanyang bounds. No? Kapag yung contrary, the definite integral, meron kang bounds na from A to B. Ibig sabihin, defined, kaya siya definite integral, defined yung iyong bounds. Okay? So, ang tatandaan nyo, kapag definite integral ang kinukuha natin dito, ang makukuha natin dito is a value, a number. Okay? Kapag indefinite integral, ang makukuha natin dito is function. Okay? So, paano siya natin ma-relate dun sa what do you call this? Dun sa ating drawing, no? Para mas makita nyo, if this is my f of x, kapag indefinite integral po yung kinukuha ko, pag kukunin ko yung indefinite integral nitong function na to, what I will get is a function. No? So, ang makuha ko ay ang integral ng, ang integral ng f of x dx ay sabihin natin capital F of x. Ngayon, yung f of x na yan, yung f of x na yan, it is a function with two variables na ang factor dun sa variables na yon is kung saan yung dalawang dulo mo. So, any function or any value ng x, let's say x1 and x2, kapag in-input mo dun sa value sa function ng f of x, you can get the area. Bakit siya function? Kasi paano kung gusto mo baguhin? Kunwari, gusto mo x1 to x2 or minsan ang gusto mo ay x1 hanggang x4, x3, no? Somewhere here. Tuloy-tuloy lang, no? No? So, kapag function ang kinukuha natin, we are more versatile, we are more flexible na mag-input ng kahit anong values. Wherein, kapag definite integral yung kinuha natin, hindi function yung makuha natin, but value. Kapag definite integral, guys, ibig sabihin, defined na yung inyong bounds. No? For example, meron ka na dito ng A and B. And kapag definite integral ang pinapakuha, no, you have A to B, ang makuha mo dito is value na po, no? So, ano na talaga ang area na to? It's not a function, but the exact area of this shaded region, no? From A to B. Okay? So, ayun lang guys, yung dalawa. So, we have the indefinite and the definite integral. Okay, so sa next video natin, what we will do is we'll try to solve some examples and paano natin numerically sinosolve ang anti-differentiation. Paano siya nagiging kabaliktaran ng differentiation. Okay?